guys, hope you're doing good. So in this short video, I want to share a lesson that it's not a lesson that I've recently learned. It's something that I've actually had with me for a while now. Okay, and it's probably has been one of the most important lessons that I've learned in the last 2 years. Okay, but I was like re-listening to a podcast that is really good. Okay, it's from a guy called Adam Robinson. He's an author, a hedge fund advisor. He's a teacher, where he was essentially sharing lessons on winning the game of life. Okay, and for me, what I like to do is I don't like to learn from like 1,000 people or 1,000 different sources of information. What I like to do is I like to find 5 to 10 really good sources of information, and I'll repeatedly go through that information. The reason why I do that is because every time I listen to the same thing over and over again, I don't end up finding new information, but I end up finding new perspectives to the thing that I had already learned. Okay, and this is essentially what happened 2 days ago when I was re-listening to this podcast. Okay, and Adam Robinson essentially shared that. He shared the quote by Einstein, okay, where he said that to change the world, which is the result of our thinking, we have to change the thinking behind the world, okay? The actual quote by Albert is, the world we have created is a product of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. If we want to change the world, we have to change our thinking. No problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. We must learn to see the world anew, okay? And when I read that, Adam didn't necessarily, say the whole quote by Albert, but when he said to change the world, which is the result of our thinking, just this one thing that he mentioned, like it's simple, but it's at the same time it's deep. Okay, and I'll explain why it hit me really deep. Okay, I realized that the only thing that has changed between the me 2 years ago, well, it's not really been 2 years, but let's say I really started diving in business in end of 2019, November. That's when I bought my first, that's when I started buying my first courses. Okay, the difference between me then and the me today, it says nothing has really changed besides the way that I think. Okay, in 2020, I knew Facebook outreach, and I knew that it was important to give the market what they wanted. I knew that it was good to do volume. I knew that it was important to create content. I knew everything. But was I making the same amount of money that I'm making today? Hell no, right? I think I think this week we've probably made over just 30, 40 grand in a single week, okay, in revenue. But how come in 2020 I was making 30K with the same amount of information that I have today? Well, my goal with this video is to try to explain that if you want new outcomes, you have to think differently, okay? So check this out. If you are not where you want to be, not because you don't know what you should be doing, okay, but because you're not thinking like the person who is where you want to be, okay? I'll repeat this. If you are not where you want to be, it's not because you don't know what it takes to build a 7-figure business. You want to know what it takes to build a 7-figure business? Let me tell it to you right now. You need a good offer, an offer that the market wants. How do you figure out what the market wants? You go and talk to the market. Okay? Or you find people who are making a lot of money in that niche, you figure out what they're selling. If they're making a whole bunch of money with that same offer, you steal it, you do the same thing. Okay? That's one. Now, when it comes to acquisition, you need to start with organic because you don't have a bunch of money to go with paid ads. How do you start with outreach? You need a message, you need someone to do the outreach for you. Okay? If you want to make 6 figures a year, cool, do it yourself. That's this infrastructure of someone who's just making 100K a year, okay? But if you want to make 7 figures, you need at least 2 to 3 really good appointment setters doing, let's say, 100 outreach a day. They will be able to give you enough meetings for you to sell your service, okay? It could be a service from 2.5K to 10K, okay? If you can go as the higher ticket you go, the easier it will be for you to scale. Okay. Once you have a good offer, maybe a higher ticket offer, you have an outbound team, a growth team in place. You need to be good at sales. How do you become good at sales? You let the person tell you what they want to achieve. Okay. You also let them tell you why they haven't achieved it yet. Okay. And then you use your solution as the gap that bridges their current situation with their desired situation. How will you do that? Well, they've told you why they haven't achieved it yet. So you use it against them. You're going to be like, hey, you haven't built a 7-figure business, or you haven't ran successful paid ads because of X and X and X, which is what you just told me. Okay. Are you willing to try this new solution? Because we can offer you a better roadmap, a better service that can help you achieve those outcomes. Okay. If you want to add a guarantee, add a guarantee. If you want to add incentive-based pricing, maybe tell them, hey, our price is this much, but if you sign up today, you're going to get it for this much. You want to motivate them? Cool, do that. There's a bunch of tactics for sales, but like, you don't need to be good at sales to make millions. You know, I don't sell anymore. I haven't taken a single sales call since. I've probably taken 1 or 2 sales calls this year because prospects wanted to speak with me, but I've made multiple 6 figures this year, just in the last 2-3 months, right? So to be honest, 7-figure entrepreneurs, you don't need to be selling. You build a team of, you can hire a closer or a bunch of sales specialists, okay? So you have the offer, and by the way, I'm going on tangents, but I'm telling you essentially that everything you need to build a 7-figure business, you already know it, and I'm telling it to you right now. Once you have the growth team, this closer, the right offer, then all you need to do, build content, okay, which is I'm doing right now, okay? And there are frameworks around building content. You just give people what the answers to their problems, so to the thing that you actually solve. So if you're a TikTok agency, then go over how to create UGCs, go over why the platform has lower CPMs, go over the fact that I don't know, there's less competition. You can steal other people's creatives and use them your own. Like you need to learn about the platform. If you're a coach or consultant, then you need to focus on showing people why they're doing the thing that they're doing is not the right thing to be getting to get them to their desired outcome. Okay, and you need to show them examples. Like, hey, you've been doing this, but this is the results it's getting you. But if you try this, you can get this outcome. Like, anyway, just give them everything that they want. But the most important thing is create content that changes beliefs. Okay, the goal with this video is I want to change the way you guys. I want to change your beliefs. Okay, so. Let's keep watching. Okay, let's keep going, right? So like I said, I just gave you the structure of a 7-figure business, right? Now, like I said, the reason why you're not already making $1 million a year is not because you don't know how to make $1 million a year. It's because you're not thinking like the person who is already making $1 million a year. Like I said, I didn't say you're not thinking like someone who wants to make $1 million a year. I'm saying you're not thinking like someone who is already making $1 million a year. Okay? You'll have people confusing this with mindset, okay? Because you get a lot of people who are like, oh, but you don't have the right mindset. That's why you're broke, or you don't have. No, I don't think this has nothing to do with feeling good and being positive. Like, I still feel bad. I still feel shitty sometimes. I still feel stressed. But does that mean I'm not going to get rich? Hell no. I'm going to get rich regardless, right? When it comes to business, there are a set of universal steps that have been laid down by the greats before us, right? So the fact that you and I aren't where we should be is not because of the lack of guidance. It's purely due to the lack of the right decision making, which stems from thinking well, and you can't think well if you don't ask yourself the right questions. Okay? So the reason you're broke, and by broke, I'm not saying that you don't have money. By broke, I mean you're not fulfilling your potential. I'm not making this video because I have to. I could stop making videos. Literally, the last video could be the last one that I made, and I could still make a mil this year, right? But I still make content because where I want to go, I need more people believing in the shit that I'm saying. Okay? So I keep showing up every day because my potential is not 7 figures. Fuck 7 figures. What the fuck can you do with 7 figures? Right? That's not even a Bugatti. Are you telling me that I'm going to work for a Bugatti every year? Like, are you serious? Are you going to really... do you think I'm going to settle for a Bugatti net worth, like salary, or like just settle for a Bugatti a year? That's not me. I think I'm worth more. I think I can do better, right? So my next goal is to get to 8 figures. And when I'm to 8 figures, I'm going to go for 9. And when I'm at 9, I'm going to go for 10. Because why not? Why settle for 9, you know? But let's keep going. So like I said, the reason why you're not already there is because you don't know how to build a 6-figure business, a multiple 6-figure business, or you don't have access to how to build a 7-figure or 8-figure business. Okay, it's none of that. It's purely due to the lack of the right decision making, which stems from thinking well, which you can't really do if you don't ask yourself the right questions. Now, do you want me to show you what kind of questions I asked myself in order for me to improve my thinking? Okay, here are the following. Okay, here are the examples of questions I've asked myself to build client acquisition.io to 1.6 million in annual run rate in the first 8 months of launching client acquisition.io. For those who don't know, I actually launched client acquisition. I've officially incorporated myself July 7th last year. Okay, and right now we have $1.6 million in run rate. Okay, now one of the first questions I had to ask myself was, what does a 7-figure entrepreneur do, right? Like I said, stuff that he do is put out content and leverage sales assets that has zero marginal cost of replication. That means this video, every time someone sees it, I don't have to sit here and make 12 minutes or 15 minutes, however long this video will be every time. No, I'll make it 15 minutes and it will only have cost me 15 minutes to make it, for whether it gets 50 views, whether it gets 100 views, whether it gets 1,000 views, whether it gets 100,000 views. It's only going to cost me 15 minutes of my life, okay? A 7-figure entrepreneur, an 8-figure entrepreneur, a 9-figure, $1 billion net worth entrepreneur, they do shit at scale. You have to evolve into someone who influences at scale. You can't be just doing like, oh, I'm gonna go door knocking on a door and then I hope to make a $10,000 deal, and then I'm gonna go on the next door and then hopefully I'll be able to close. No, that's not the game we play here. Okay, we change beliefs at scale, we impact at scale. Okay, that's an example of something that a 7-figure entrepreneur do. What does something else that a 7-figure entrepreneur do, or anyone above 7 figures, is they need to be good at building teams. They need to be good at inspiring people on the team. You need to be able to build a good mission, an amazing vision for people to find themselves in it and find their own journey within your vision and mission. Okay? And that's something that I do a lot. Most of my time is not spent like doing a lot of tasks in the business. It's spent trying to improve and turn the people on my team into leaders and inspire them to become more. Okay? Now, what does a 7-figure business look like? I told you. An amazing offer, an amazing solution, an amazing acquisition system. You need the right channel. If I was you, I'd probably go to Facebook outreach. Okay? Facebook outreach has been a blessing for me and for everyone in our programs. I need at least 5 people doing outreach. Okay? Right now we have a growth team of 5 people, 5 appointment setters. They're starting to become good this month, so we haven't really hit the peak. We've had really one good appointment setter plus another one to hit 140K a month. So I'm looking to 5x last month's outcome, or at least consistently increase it the more people I have. So you need 5 growth team. If you don't know how to build a growth team, shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. We can get on a call. I'll show you how to build a growth team. You need someone who's really good as a closer. Okay, to be honest, one thing that I found the best is hire internally for closers. Hire people who already believe in your mission. Don't go outside like buying closer services. I hate it because You need people who believe, and you need people who have conviction, okay? And you need to be good at content. If you want to make millions, content is king. Like, if you're not making content, like, I just think you just like losing, okay? Especially if you're in the online space. Especially if you're a service provider, okay? 90% of service providers don't know shit about building content. So if you become good at building content, you become a beast. If you want to learn how to build content, hit me up, okay? Alex Hormozi is building content. He's making $100 million a year, okay? Why do you think he's building content? I don't know. I feel like you guys just look at people who are doing better than you guys, but somehow you just like get lost in fantasizing that and like creating like some kind of like I don't even know. Like, you guys fall in love with people instead of learning from them, you know? If you spend more time checking out what Alex Hormozi or guys like Sam Ovens or Taylor Welch or Jeff Bezos or you know, guys like Nick or maybe Iman Ghazi or Kai Bax, if you guys spend more time looking at what they're doing instead of doing what they're doing, like, something is wrong. You guys should just become fans, okay? And maybe you guys are watching me. I don't want you to be fucking watching me all day. I want you to be doing what I'm doing, because I'm getting rich. If you want to get rich, do what the fuck I'm doing, okay? And I'm a curse. Like, it is what it is. It's my channel. Whatever. Okay? I'm joking. I love you guys. But I curse because I care about this game, okay? I care. I'd love to have more people making $100,000 a month. I need more friends making $100,000 a month. I don't have any friends making $100,000 a month. I don't have friends, because what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about how the bottle in the club costs $500? I don't really care about if it costs $500 or $5,000. It's like, okay, cool. It's one day. It's like, let's go to the club. Let's spend it. Let's make it the next day. It's the cost to shit is relative, you know. So it's like I can't really relate to most people in my environment. Okay, so I want you guys to get rich too, guys. I want you guys to get rich, okay? So, let's keep going. Oh my god, these videos get longer and longer. I'm sorry for going on these tangents, guys. I just like to freestyle these videos, okay? But another question that I asked myself was, what can keep client acquisition what can keep our company from not becoming the best consulting business, okay? I realized that if the thing that could keep me from not becoming the best is by trying to be like everyone else. What does every other consulting business do? Is they build an information product and they give people group calls and they're like, hey, here's a $10,000 program. Go ahead and, you know, buy our stuff, okay? And they call it the best program ever, okay? But for me, I didn't want to copy that model. So what we did was, is there a way to build a consulting business that is a done-for-you business? So it's more like a consulting agency, and not necessarily like, it's not like we're not really we're as close to done-for-you as it gets, okay? And it's probably an answer to the next question that I asked myself, which was, what can keep my customers from not winning? What keeps them from not achieving their dreams in other programs? Well, I realized that the reason why most people fail in other programs, they just offer weekly support calls and information, was because most people are lazy. Most people don't think right. Most people don't want to do the work. So I was like, well, what if I could give them the right information, but actually take the work off their hands? Build the offer for them or improve the offer that they already have. Pick the channels for outreach for them. Build the acquisition team for them. Train the VAs, or help you build a team of commission-only appointment setters, okay? Because once you have the right offer, once you have the right acquisition channels, once you have the team doing outreach every day, you're going to have meetings raining from heaven, and nothing can stop you then, right? Or, you know, maybe I have my eyes on a lot of people running businesses, so I can look at the best offers online and be like, oh, hey, you're selling this, but right now you're not being able to make money, so please take this offer that I saw working for this other customer and run with it, okay? In other consulting businesses, nobody will give you this much personalization, because what they care about is scale. A lot of people will be like, oh yeah, we have a done for you aspect, but it's like, really? What did you do for me? You know, look at the most businesses that you've bought programs from, right? They don't offer you nothing besides information, which is cool. Information is beautiful. What you're learning right now is information, but you need people to take the wheel sometimes, okay? So that's what we do. That's essentially why I believe that we've been able to scale, because we look at what keeps our customers from winning, and then we take it in-house, okay? And then another question that I've been recently asking myself was, what does an 8-figure entrepreneur and business infrastructure look like? And that's what I've been working in the background. Maybe one day I'll be able to share what my vision is to scale client acquisition to 10 million a year in the next few months. I believe I can scale to 10 million a run rate before the end of the year. I think I could make 800 grand a month before the end of the year. But that would be a crazy story though. Starts in 2021, makes 100K in revenue by November 2021. 2022 collects 100K in profit in a month, in March. And by the end of the year, collects almost $1 million a month. Oh my God. Oh man, this is funny. I wish you guys could just get in the flow of winning, man. It's beautiful once you just set ridiculous goals for yourself, and not because you're better than anyone else, but because you want to prove yourself that you're better. Okay? A lot of you guys may just think that people want to make money because they want to prove the world, or they just care about money. But no, it has nothing to do with money, man. You know? If it had something to do with money, I wouldn't be making this video. I'd go to the bank every day and take out 10 grand and go ahead and just chill all day long, right? But it's not about money. It's about proving myself that I can do more. And every time I do more, I get more confidence in myself. I get more confidence that life is mine. I make life my bitch, you know? And I promise you, there's nothing more blissful than being confident. I promise you. I swear, people can feel it. Like when you're confident, people can feel it, you know? Feel it from a mile away. But if you've never achieved anything great, why would you be confident in yourself? You have proven nothing to yourself. It's not even about proving something to others. It's about proving something to yourself. You know when you're lying. You know when you're being a little bitch, you know? So let's keep going, right? So these are a few questions I asked myself, right? The most important thing though is not the answer itself, right? The most important thing is not the 7-figure infrastructure that I just walked you through. The most important thing is not the infrastructure of an 8-figure business or an 8-figure entrepreneur that I have in my mind. Okay. The most important thing is not what could keep my customers from not. It's not me just being aware of the thing. The most important thing for you to realize is that once you get the answers to the questions like these, okay, you need to start thinking from the angle provided by the answers. I'll repeat that. Once you have the answer to the questions, you need to start thinking from the angle provided by the answers. What kills most people, and I'll go back to explaining what I just said, but what kills most people is that they think that the knowledge of something is what's important, but unfortunately it's not. Applying knowledge is the secret, and you'll never apply knowledge unless you think from the angle of someone who applies the knowledge, someone who has already achieved the thing that you want to achieve. And that's it. That's Sundays. I'm preaching. I'm gonna be preaching for you guys every single day, okay? Hopefully you guys like this, but essentially what I'm trying to say is, what I mean by you need to start thinking from the angle provided by the answers is essentially, if you get the infrastructure of a 7-figure entrepreneur, the goal is not to say, oh, I know what it takes to build a 7-figure business. The goal is to start making decisions in your business as someone who's already running a 7-figure business. Okay? You need to think and make decisions from the angle provided by the answers. So, if I tell you that if I ask myself, hey, what does a 8-figure entrepreneur do? Well, what an 8-figure entrepreneur does is build leaders for each department and inspire them to become the best. Now, my goal as an entrepreneur, or if you follow what I just said, is I need to start thinking from the angle provided by the 8-figure entrepreneur, or the answer to what is an 8-figure business look like, okay? And then if an 8-figure entrepreneur builds leaders, then I need to be like, hey, Serge, starting tomorrow, your focus is to build leaders. I need a leader for the acquisition, marketing. I need a leader for sales. I need a leader for operations. I need a leader for managing our capital, finances, make sure we're profitable, make sure we're getting rich, okay? Make sure we're reinvesting some portion of that in the business. Make sure every employee is getting paid wonderfully. Make sure everybody's getting rich in the company. Make sure everyone is able to provide for their families, okay? And the CEO role is how big can we take this? Can we take over the world? You know, can we see what Jeff Bezos did? How was Jeff Bezos thinking, right? How did it go 25 years by just reinvesting all the profit into the business? Like, what made him do that when rationally or any human would not take multiple billions and put them back into the company? Like, that's a lot of money. Like, that's like literally in one single week you could retire for 1,000 lifetimes, maybe 1,000,000 lifetimes with the money he makes every single week. But do you know why he's been able to achieve that? Because he's always made decisions from... If you guys want to read a great book, go read Invent and Wonder. That's an amazing book for any entrepreneur. But I don't want to make this video too long, but guys, ask yourself questions, the right questions, inspiring questions. You already have the answers, okay? Once you ask yourself the question, get the answer. Once you have the answer, you think from this angle. Never think from the angle where you're so scared. You're like, oh my God, I can't buy Serge's program because I'm broke. Yeah, so what? You've been broke all your life because you keep making decisions from a fucking broke person's perspective. Hey, let's read what Albert Einstein said. He's a genius. I'm not a genius. I'm just learning from greats. Okay? The world we have created. Maybe you're a 6-figure entrepreneur. Maybe you're a 7-figure entrepreneur. Okay? The 7-figure lifestyle that you've built, or the business that you've built, or the broke lifestyle you've built, okay, is a product of your thinking. It cannot be changed from the same broke thinking, okay? Broken thinking, or broken way of thinking framework. I don't even know how to call that. If you want to change your current situation, you have to change your thinking. No problem. Your problem right now is that you can't curse on YouTube, okay? Because you're not confident in your ability to make as much money as you can, because you're afraid of what people will judge you for, okay? This problem cannot be solved from the same consciousness that created it. You must learn to see the world. And how do you see the world a different way? You start thinking differently. That's it. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, before I forget, TikTok webinar happening next Wednesday. If you want to learn how to build a 7-figure business with TikTok as an offer, then please find the link below. Book, let's talk. We'll have hundreds of people on there, and I look forward to having you there. Okay, but and by the way, our specialty is not TikTok. Our specialty is scaling businesses, but TikTok is something that we've been pushing our customers who are agency owners, okay, to go TikTok, because it's been working really well. Have a beautiful day, guys. I love you. Bye-bye.